This is the Relevant Podcast.
It's Friday, June 18th, 2021. We've made it, everyone. It's the Relevant Podcast here in Orlando. I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and joining me from Loverland, Virginia, is Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello.
From not Austin, Texas, actually from Nashville today, author, speaker, podcaster, Jamie Ivey.
Hey, guys.
And down the street, but socially distanced safely from Jamie, I guess. I don't know why y'all aren't together, but also in Nashville, Tennessee, artist, producer, mogul, Derek Minor.
What's happening? Yeah, Jamie.
Is there a reason?
Why we should have been kicked it and went and got some milkshakes.
I know.
That's what I'm saying.
Got some milkshakes.
Late night milkshakes.
Jamie, why are you in Nashville today and not back home in Texas?
And not home in Texas. Well, I had this trip planned for a while. The Southern Baptist Convention's happening this week in Nashville,
It's
Tennessee.
a hot ticket.
And
Hot ticket. 16,000 Baptists have descended on Music City.
I picture this
one big party.
I picture the SBC like when the NFL draft was in downtown Nashville, and it was just this big street party. But this time, it's like, let's just be honest, it's probably a lot of white dudes in ties instead of like rowdy NFL,
and
fans.
Khakis.
Yeah, and a lot of khakis. Khakis are the NFL jersey of the SBC. Where everyone goes to the NFL draft in Nashville with their favorite throwback NFL, oh, look at that old school Giants jersey. This is like, dude, I didn't even know pleats could be that deep on khakis. Nice one, bro.
Zeke Averici once.
Dude, are they selling that
funny.
at the SBC merch shop? Those new pleats, man? That is dope. That's fire.
My picture of downtown Nashville, down by the convention center with Broadway and everything, is basically bachelorette parties going down on those pedal bars, and wooing and everybody hollering and stuff. I can't imagine the Baptist version of that. Like what Broadway looks like during the SBC convention.
It's the same thing. It's the bartender sees khakied individuals walk in and are just like, let me guess, some seltzer and lime, gentlemen.
Seltzer's a little edgy, Jesse. Those bubbles, Nashville's going to run out of sweet tea this week. That's all Baptists drink is sweet tea after church. So those bubbles and the lime, Jesse, that lime looks like alcohol.
I need a sweet tea and make it tall, please. Yeah, it's been a long day. You make it a double, sir. I want you see them walking around with those Arizona iced tea, sweet teas, like tall boys, but they're in paper bags. It's been one of those days, guys. Really tough, really tough night.
It's a really tough night when they blend the sweet tea with the lemonade.
You see that? You see they're rolling out of the hotel. They're like, oh, I got that old sweet tea hangover, man. Oh man, it's
sugar high. All right, why are you speaking at the SBC? I didn't think they allowed stuff like that. Why are you there?
Well, they don't. But I was. The reason I'm here is because I was supposed to be speaking at more events than I did, but I had an event last night that I did with an organization called Women in Work. And so I already had my tickets. We are in this amazing Airbnb that Jesse James used to live in the 1800s. And so there's a pool. My team's here doing a bunch of stuff. So I did my one thing last night and it's been a great week.
Jesse James, I heard historically really into pools. Big swimmer. Jesse James.
This pool from the 1800s is amazing.
Basically, it's just a hole in the ground, just filled with water over the years.
Yep.
Yeah. Very cool. Well, we have a great show in store for you today. Coming up later, one of my favorite artists, good friend, Sleeping at Last, Ryan O'Neal is joining us. He's actually featured in the new issue of Relevant, if you saw that article. But we have a conversation that you won't want to miss. Also, for our Quarterlife segment, we're talking with a couple of authors, Sheila, Gregoire, and Rebecca Lindenbach. They wrote a book called The Great Sex Rescue, about how the church needs to change its framing of sex and how that applies to how we kind of live our lives, especially in the Quarterlife season. Also, relevant news coming up. You won't want to miss that. And at the end of the show, stay tuned. A very special What's Jesse Thinking? Yes, it's back. Jesse has something on his mind this week. And
again, it's, I know, Jamie, we're going to talk about, cancel culture and our, some things that are happening. This is related. to that conversation.
Oh.
I'm gonna feel this. I'm gonna feel this in a personal way.
Maybe. But I'm doing a pro cancel culture take.
Jesse, we already know you're pro cancel culture. You tried to cancel.
You know who you are, Shark Week.
Oh, we're going back to the Shark Week.
When you thought they could get no lower and denigrate the name of not only Shark Week, which used to be a mighty force in our culture, but denigrate sharks themselves. They've done it, people.
Shark Week, Jesse, Shark Week jumped the shark years ago.
Right. Sharknado wasn't enough?
Hey, right. I thought that too. I thought, they can't go any lower. This is, I'm done with them. And then they went, and Clark has heard the clip I'm going to play. It is.
Oh, I can't wait.
I'm excited.
It's the audacity of what they're doing. We'll get to it. I'm getting fired up just talking about it. We'll get to it.
I feel the energy. It's surging through my body right now. I'm ready. I'm ready for it.
It's very outrageous.
All right. Well, there's a lot coming up, so stay tuned. Up next, relevant news.
Is it too late for us? You're inescapable. Run away from the thought of giving you more.
Listening to St. John. The song is Just For Me. It's actually on the new Space Jam soundtrack. Well, today's show is brought to you by BetterHelp. In 2021, mental health is finally a thing we're all talking about. So many people are struggling right now and aren't feeling like their normal selves. But therapy helps, and it doesn't have to be sitting around just talking about your feelings. So what is therapy exactly? It's really whatever you want it to be. You can talk privately to someone if you feel like you're not dealing well with stress or maybe having relationship issues. It's whatever you need. Don't be ashamed of normal struggles and start feeling better because you deserve to be happy. And now you don't have to worry about finding an in-person therapist near you to help. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's a much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can start communicating with your therapist in under 48 hours. Join the millions of people who are seeing what therapy is really about. See if it's for you, because you are your greatest asset. And right now, BetterHelp is offering Relevant Podcast listeners a great deal. You can get 10% off your first month at BetterHelp.com/relevant. Save 10% at BetterHelp, HELP.com/relevant. Okay, it's time for
Relevant news.
Joining us to tell us what's happening at the intersection of faith and culture this week, please welcome to the show Relevant Senior Editor, Tyler Huckabee. Hey, Tyler.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, before we hear what you have in store for us today, I have to bring up something that happened today, the day that we are recording this episode. Today was the culmination of the Tyler Huckabee Venn diagram being drawn, where we posted on Relevant's Instagram and on the site a piece that you have had in the hopper for a while, apparently. Mm-hmm. The news that I didn't know, that in the 90s, Marvel had a Christian superhero. He lasted for 3 comics, and his name was the Illuminator, and his powers were dependent on the level of his faith in God. You wrote this up. We posted it. And somebody, the very first comment that somebody put on Instagram was, Tyler Huckabee has gained way too much control of this account, because we are now covering Christian kitsch, Christian culture, and superheroes. Tyler, please tell the listeners who might have missed this groundbreaking discovery about the Illuminator. Please tell us about the Illuminator.
Well, it's the first step of the takeover. Like, this is just one article. If you think I've been given too much control now, the drift has begun. Like this is part of a tilt. But this is like a very obscure, like in the 90s Marvel. This was like before the movies, right? So Marvel was like making pennies. They would have worked with anybody. And Thomas Nelson, the big Christian publisher, approached them saying, we want to get into the comic book business to reach the kids. And Marvel was just, I think, sure, name your price. We're in. We'll do it. And at first it was just kind of like, Bible stories and comics, or I think they had like a Pilgrim's Progress thing. And then Thomas Nelson was like, what if we did a superhero? And again, Marvel said, sure. So they came up with this idea for this guy named the Illuminator. What happens is, and Cameron is going to know this because he ordered issue 1 on Amazon.
I have found them on Amazon. I don't own any comic books. The very first comic books I've ever purchased are the Illuminator issue 1 and 2. I have them both on their way.
Are they collector's editions?
I think, well, I bought one of them from
What'd you pay for it?
I bought one of them from the seller, Estate Sales Are Us. So apparently somebody died with it in their possession.
They found
It was
$7.
one of their final possessions. Yeah.
$7 is what I paid.
$7. Okay, that's good.
Not bad.
But this kid named Andy Prentice is at a summer camp, and he gets lost in the woods, and this mysterious light like envelopes him and gives him these powers of illumination, I guess you would say. Like he can turn into light, and he can fly, and he can shoot light from his hands.
And he's based in Nashville, by the way, because New York City has way too many superheroes.
The Mean Street, he's part of the spread. New York is overrepresented.
It's true.
So he's keeping us safe here in
Derek
Music
is
City.
dying.
In Music City. He's fighting the mean streets.
And on the cover of issue 1, there's a Conway Twitty music store in the background because it's Nashville, you know.
Of course,
Yeah.
it's in Nashville.
I have so many questions, but I do want to note that in the Instagram piece that was posted, it shows like an image that is a page from Tyler, is there a name for like one of those full page pictures that is in it?
Yeah, it's a splash panel.
So it's a splash panel from one of the comic books, and it is I'm assuming our hero looking skyward, illuminated, and all it says in like big comic letters. So the only writing on the page, it says it's like a nuke from heaven.
Yeah,
A
and
nuke from heaven, like Pentecost, like when the Holy Spirit descended in Acts 2.
But I was like,
from
dude,
heaven.
that whole thing could be like a Tooth and Nail album cover, like from like from the early 2000s. One, it doesn't look that dissimilar from like the May Everglow, like someone with their back like hand drawn, and like a nuke from heaven, like that could be the name of like of an old Demon Hunter album, like a nuke from heaven.
Well, that's what he did. I think it's important to know for the purposes of this that Andy, our hero, he starts out as a man of science, right? He doesn't believe in any of that God stuff. That's not.
This is God's not dead.
So the battle is a battle between not good and evil, but between faith and science. That's actually the Republican platform.
But once he realizes that his new powers only really kick in when he has as much faith as possible, well, then you got to become a Christian, because otherwise you don't stand a chance out
there. You won't have your powers.
Yeah, you don't have any. So he
becomes a Christian so he can have more power.
Yeah,
that is the evangelical.
Good power, though. It's good power, right?
It's not.
It's power for
the
good.
The metaphor falls apart. The metaphor does fall apart a little bit. It's a pretty. And he gets.
Does he do good things?
Yeah,
Tyler?
he gets this sidekick. He gets this sidekick who is a former biker turned church custodian named Gus, and he's the one who somehow recognizes that. I think these powers are actually from heaven. I don't know how Gus knows. That is never explained. Gus is like.
Shout out to Gus, man.
Gus is what you're saying. Gus is his leader.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right.
Well, so let me get this straight. So if an asteroid was about to hit Earth, bro just got to be like, thank you, Jesus, thank you, Jesus, thank you, Jesus. And start speaking in tongues, and then he get lasers go out of his eye.
Like a
kind of like that.
Yeah,
really believe.
When Superman needs to recharge, he goes to the Fortress of Solitude, right? When what's this guy's name? The Illuminator. When the Illuminator is feeling low on the nuke juice from heaven, he fires up God's Not Dead trilogy. He comes out of that charging to take down Thanos.
I hate science so much, and then that's his. Yeah.
Tyler, I have a question. Yeah. People that know you know that you are a comic book aficionado, particularly when it comes to the Marvel, Marvel Comics and the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Look, I know Marvel has a deep bench, okay? But we're at the point where a relatively minor villain is getting an entire prestige TV show on Disney Plus right now, right? Like, I grew up watching Marvel stuff, like X-Men, all that.
I like
And
where you're going.
I had never even heard of Loki until the MCU. And
Right.
now he's got, now Disney has literally given him 12 straight hours of prestige content.
Yeah.
Okay. I know they got a deep bench, but
Right.
they're going pretty far to the well. Ant-Man has a trilogy in the MCU. Ant-Man, okay? A person whose power is to get to the size of an ant, all right? The bench is only so deep, okay?
Right.
At some point, they're going to need to be like, guys, we need... My question is this, Tyler. In what scenario does the Illuminator show up in the modern MCU?
Oh, I'm thinking about it. I've obviously been turning this one over in my head, and we called on Twitter. We issued a call to we added Marvel saying, come on, greenlight the Illuminator movie. When the God's Not Dead crowd has made it clear, Christians will go
They
to
would love
movies.
it.
Those movies, whatever you say, what you will about them, they make money. They're profitable films.
Yeah.
And I think those people would turn up for the Illuminator, for the Illuminator trilogy. And then you can get one of the Hillsong Young and Free kids, cast them in the main role. You make it their acting debut, right?
And if there's anybody that's a Gus, like a motorcycle riding church custodian with a heart of gold,
Kevin
and
Sorbo.
That's who I was thinking.
We gotta get Sorbo.
Go back to Sorbo.
The Sorbo science is upon us.
Derek, you're a comic book fan, right? I mean, you like you like the MCU, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, he's a Batman guy first, but
I'm a huge comic book fan.
Okay.
Derek's toe to toe with me, I think.
Did you own this one yet, Derek?
This some bull. Clark, you might go have to cue up the beeps, buddy. Bro, this right here had to be Marvel was on their way out. You know what I'm saying? It had to be. This was, oh my God.
Life flashing before their eyes.
Yeah,
we need something. We'll take anything.
I'll try to find an appropriate metaphor, but everything is in my head that's about to come out as bad, inappropriate. So,
Tyler, I have a question. Do we know anything about the origins of this comic book? Other than, hey, Marvel shooting a shot here. Maybe corner that Nashville Christian market. Do we know anything about the creator of this particular hero?
Well, the guy, it was a Thomas Nelson. They were the ones who asked for a Christian superhero, but the writer and an artist were both already worked at Marvel. Like, these are people who drew like Spider-Man and X-Men.
This is what made them quit. They quit after this.
They quit. Veterans. They gave them real pros were at work on this one. But, it was the 90s. We were all making weird decisions.
I ain't gonna lie. No, we was not all making weird stuff like this. This is a very specific type of weird. Like,
it's true.
Bro, I just imagine my man illustrating this after he just got done doing Wolverine and probably, you know what I'm saying, Secret Wars or whatever. And then like, all right, we got the next comic book, Jess. And it's like, all right, cool. Well, we ready. We doing Magneto. We doing Loki. What we doing? Nah, we got this check from these people in Nashville, and we got to do a Christian superhero. And he's probably like, a what?
The Illuminator.
The Illuminator. And his power happens when he has faith in God. That guy, at that point, his dream job of working at Marvel had been diminished to being a 15-year-old working at McDonald's at that point. That's when
I think their target audience was me.
Yeah.
I don't know about Marvel. I don't know about
You were
anything, but
reading
I
a lot
got
of
young
X-Men at the
kids.
time.
So if they're like, hey, here's a Christian superhero, I'm like, yes, get it to my kid. Like, I think 43-year-old woman would be their target
Of
audience.
course.
That's probably,
Which is like what makes this not even
this
that
is
good.
the reason why Christian music never progresses.
Yep.
Is because it's always about the soccer mom. And it's like, I love soccer moms. Shout out to the soccer moms. I love y'all. Y'all make the best cookies. You know what I'm saying? Y'all make the best cookies.
And they buy a lot of things,
desserts,
too.
And y'all buy a whole lot of stuff.
disposable income.
Big consumers.
Okay, I have a breaking news. Update, Tyler, because
while we're recording this?
yesterday, right before our staff chat was talking about this, right before we posted this, somebody was like, "Hey, somebody posted a link said, hey, you can actually buy these used on Amazon," and I was like, "Oh, as I have a whole bookshelf of like Christian culture kitsch stuff, like old Jesus stuff. Anyway, I was like, this is a perfect addition to the collection. So I'm going to jump on and grab them, right? Because Tyler said, once we put word out about this, there's going to be other people with funny senses of humor that are going to go grab these on Amazon because there's not that many of them, right? Dude, I bought them. I just now purchased issue 3 because I have to have the full trilogy, right? Why did I buy 2? I don't understand. Anyway, I just went on there. They're going for $30 and $40 now, Tyler. Our thing went out there and the supply and demand, the prices just shot up on the Illuminator, man.
The power we have.
I'm glad you got in, Cameron.
I got in for $7.
I got NFTs like 3 days ago. NFTs which is very hard because it never existed in digital form, so it's very difficult.
I want to die right now.
One final note. I got one final Illuminator note, and this is important to make this very clear. That in the pages of Illuminator, they are people in the comic are referencing events that are happening in X-Men at that same time. So this is not an alternate universe. This is not like a one-off. This is taking place. The Illuminator exists in the Marvel timeline universe proper. So theoretically, he should still be there today. So Marvel could come out tomorrow and relaunch Illuminator issue 1. He's back.
But think about the implications of that. That means we have evidence that the God of the Bible is not only something that exists like within the consciousness of the MCU. In other words, like there are churches in the MCU and people have Christianity. I'm not saying that Christianity exists in the MCU.
Well, like Wolverine got saved in one of the...
Yeah, we already know the Wolverine.
But again, that only confirmed that the concept of Christianity existed in the MCU. It didn't actually mean that the God of the Bible was in existence. But this is confirmation that all of what we've seen take place, including what is being alluded to in these early episodes of Loki about different parallel timelines of creation, right? That means the implication of this is that the actual God of the Bible created the Infinity Stones, created these alternate timelines, created these, beings that, in Loki that we learn, the 3 holders of the time. That means that all of that was part of the creation narrative. And that that there was some part of the creation process for the Infinity Stones. That's what the implication of this is, because it's not just
the world upside down.
I don't even know.
It's not just
I want to die. Universe around, right?
But what I'm saying is, it's not just the concept of Christianity that exists. If his power is derived from God, that means the God of the Bible exists in the MCU. Am I thinking wrong there?
I think so.
Hey, but confirmation, Jesse. I'm on Amazon. I clicked on the author. The author of all 3 is Glenn Herdling. You can go on Glenn Herdling's author page. He also authored X-Men, Captain Universe, Deadpool, Fantastic Four, all the way down. So to your point, that the worldview that he's writing from, Avengers. He wrote Avengers. He wrote a bunch that I haven't heard of.
I can't do this.
Captain America, Spider-Man. He's written Machine Man. I've never heard of that one.
But that means that
Jamie looks like she's falling apart.
That means that the God that we study created Asgard. He created Vibranium.
Well, Jesse, God created all things.
Yeah, Vibranium. Yeah. He created whatever Titan race that Thanos is from. That's what the implication is of this whole thing, guys.
Tyler, Derek just got up and
I think we're burying the lead.
Derek literally got up and left.
We're burying the lead. We're burying the lead, saying that this is a story about a Christian comic. The true story is God is real in the MCU. Okay, think about that. All right, when you fire up that new episode of Loki, and they're doing this mind-bending thing about the nature of reality. Hey, that's the real headline, in my opinion, guys.
Crazy, it's crazy. And Derek literally left. He's so mad. He's back.
Is that our news story for the day?
I mean, I think it's not what he was going to bring, but here, I'm sending y'all the link. But I think this is where we gotta pivot.
This is too much, and I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
Yeah,
I got the relevant fan question, y'all.
All right,
when the Illuminator comes to the MCU, who's gonna do the soundtrack for the theme song?
Oh yeah, because
who's your favorite?
Yeah. Like they had Kendrick Lamar for Black Panther.
Yeah, they had Kendrick Lamar. I want to know who's gonna do the theme song.
I feel like they just go ahead and pencil in Newsboys for this type of thing.
All right. Well, actually, we did an article on the site that kind of breaks this down in pretty good depth, and you should go check it out. And if you're trying to buy
for Marvel's booth at Comic-Con 2021, it sounds like we're going to get pretty. It sounds like
whenever Comic-Con comes in Nashville, this is the best cosplay you could come up with.
That's actually
deep
a great
cut.
idea.
Show up as Illuminator.
Oh my god!
Somebody should do Illuminator cosplay.
I mean,
it's not. You need a motorcycle helmet. It's easy.
There's too many talented people in the relevant universe that I know that somebody has an Illuminator costume. Please do it and post it. I'm telling you, if it don't go on the relevant Instagram, it'll go on mine. I'm trying to tell you right now, bro.
Somebody does it. Yeah,
the Illuminator.
As far as I can tell on Google, there is no Illuminator cosplay that you would be the first. That would be what a jewel.
Make
in the
Illuminator great again.
Isn't that the whole thing with cosplay at Comic-Con is to have that deep cut that like I'm the only one here.
Only the true
Dude,
fans.
Illuminator.
Some mom could make this for her adult son that loves this type of stuff.
Easy.
For their church harvest party.
Look, Jamie, I could go over to the Kawasaki Ninja dealership right now and walk out of there with it looking like the Illuminator if I wanted to.
Stop,
Isn't that the
Jamie?
whole thing with cosplay at Comic-Con is to have that deep cut that like I'm the only one here. Dude, Illuminator?
Some mom could make this for her adult son that loves this type of stuff.
For their church harvest party.
Jamie, I could go over to the Kawasaki Ninja dealership right now and walk out of there with it looking like the Illuminator if I wanted to.
Stop,
It could be a
Jamie.
whole, yeah.
Their church harvest party. Jamie's kids are going to be dressed as the Illuminator this October.
Why I gotta be
my
her
gosh.
adult son, though, Jamie? You ain't have to do it like that, Jamie.
That's what I think of when I think of Comic-Con, or what, I don't know why.
Yeah, your husband goes as the custodian, and then one of your kids goes as the Illuminator.
Oh yeah, we could do a whole family Halloween
You'll
costume.
be the
Yeah.
most popular people at the party.
Well, I'm going to have all 3 editions shipped here, so I'll take pictures of all the pages so you can get the
good.
full
So we'll know what kind of costumes
narrative.
to make.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, that wasn't what we planned for Relevant News. There's a lot going on. Follow Relevant on all the socials. We're covering the intersection of faith and culture every day. All right. Thanks, Tyler.
Thanks, everybody.
All right. Stay tuned. Up next, Sleeping at Last joins us. You're listening to Bleachers. The song is How Dare You Want More. Well, today's episode is brought to you by podcast creation platform Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor yet, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. First of all, it's free. There are custom tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will then distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and every major platform. The cool thing is you can also make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Well, our guest today is Ryan O'Neal, but you probably know him as Sleeping at Last. His music has been heard on popular films and TV shows, most notably Grey's Anatomy. And since 2016, he's released a series of new music that explores different themes of human development, senses, emotions, and a song for each of the 9 unique Enneagram types. It's a phenomenal project. Here's part of our conversation with a great artist and friend. You're Sleeping at Last.
'Cause I'm restless. I'm restless. I'm restless. For whatever comes next. How wonderful to see a smile on your face. It costs
I've joked around with a couple, like even my wife, where we were watching something on TV the other day, and there was somebody playing in the background. They were at like a bar, and I was just like, guess my percentage of how much I miss touring. And she's like 25%. I'm like minus 1,000%.
You do not miss it at all.
And no, that's it. To be fair, I actually, some of my like favorite moments in my career have actually been on tour, and I really do. Like when it goes well, I'm embarrassed to admit, when it goes well, I love it. It's so fun. I feel like I served the song. I served the vision of the song, and I felt like it came off okay, and I wasn't crippling inside with insecurity.
Let me tell you another secret of the tree. It feels like
early on in my career, I would make like regular full-length records and would spend a year in the studio and trying to hammer these things out. And at that point, like especially with my first record, Ghost, the idea was like if I didn't try every single idea, then I failed the songs. But the problem with that is that by the end of recording those songs, you end up losing all thread of what you liked about it in the first place. Like you've gone so far down the road. And I feel like what I've learned, especially with my yearbook project, which was about 10 years ago, I learned that by writing more quickly and trying to for that one in particular, I was writing 36 songs over the course of a year. And so every month there was a deadline to finish 3 songs. And I announced it. So I kind of had to hold myself to it. People were waiting for those songs. And the funny thing the funny result with that was that I really, like even now, 10 years later, like I deeply love those songs. Like they feel closer to the source.
I know since we've grown, we ache for those memories. Honestly, nothing's even compared to you next to me, next to me.
What's interesting about lyrics, when I first started writing, however many years ago, I kept finding myself attracted to visual writing, which is a weird thing to say, but I like descriptions of things. I like for comparisons. I like analogies. So I've always write in that format without kind of thinking about it until, the last several years of being like, all right, I should probably, think through some other ways of looking at something.
Well, it took a million wrong notes just to find a single melody key. I know since we've grown, we please.
When I started doing the yearbook idea, which was 10 years ago, the 3 songs per month concept, that kind of led to some thematic writing. Like, there was a December EP, and I was like, all right, I've never tried to write a Christmas song, so it'd be really fun to try my hand at a Christmas song. And so kind of putting these creative restraints on myself have actually been really, really helpful and informative to how I'm approaching the lyrics. And then obviously I got to the point of working on Atlas, which is a concept album over the course of, I think it'll end up being around 60 songs, 50 to 60 songs. And what I love about that is that I know when I'm going to start my day at the studio or when I'm just attempting to write, if I'm writing a song called, hearing, I know that there's a lot of things that won't work with that concept of hearing or sight. It creates a framework for me to kind of play around in. And then when I'm starting to work on the lyrics, that's when I get really excited about all the research, like for human development and all the different types of things that I've had the privilege of writing about.
Rain or shine, I don't feel a thing. Just some information upon my skin. I miss the subtle aches.
I wrote a song with a buddy of mine. This is like probably six or 7 years ago, and he was kind of playing around with a couple different approaches to lyric writing. And one of the ones that he was excited about, he's like, just so whatever you're mumbling, just let's write down the closest words to whatever whatever fake words you're mumbling throughout the song, and then let's just like make an abstract painting out of these words. And I've done that. I think probably, some of my first songs probably had no aim or direction at all. But I had, since then, I've never even thought about writing completely abstractly would be so fun. And so I've tried a little bit of that. And there's definitely, in my Atlas project, there are some themes that definitely lend itself to being significantly more abstract. Like I had several songs based on darkness and several songs based on light, where it's like, okay, I can play around in that sandbox for days.
These moving parts inside of me, well, they've been shutting down for quite some time. Leave it all near us behind. Well, I know the siren sound just before the walls come down.
So much of my writing does feel like a form of therapy for me. Like if nobody listened to my music anymore, I would still do it, because I feel very much like this is how I'm processing who I am. This is how I'm feeling. This is my understanding of the world is through the lens of music, basically. One thing I was kind of learning too, even with the themes that I'm about to explore with Atlas 3, is like every system of thinking, every philosophy, every theory that exists, really, if you look at the healthier levels of every step of the way, it's just a form of letting go. Like every single version, the best point of the Enneagram, like if we're at our absolute best, that actually is a complete letting go of all of the baggage that we carry with us. And even down the line with things like spiral dynamics or integral theory, or I've started to recognize that in every teaching that I keep coming across, the best version of that, the healthiest version of that, is like this massive form of letting go. And I think that can only happen through that internal work.
Now hold on, let me finish. No, I'm not saying perfect exists in this life, but we'll only know for certain if we try. I want to sing a song worth singing.
That was Ryan O'Neal. Make sure to check out Sleeping at Last wherever you get your music. Incredible stuff. All right, stay tuned. Up next, it's Slices.
Terrified, paranoid, I put you over everything to fill the void. And when you're gone, will I have anything, or will I be destroyed? Terrified, paranoid, I put you over everything to fill the void. And when you're gone, will I have anything, or will I be destroyed? Yeah. Bright lights pass me in the city, it's emergency. I'm thankful cause I made it past my 30s, knowing me. Still remember vividly that pulled a gun on me. I'm petrified but moving like.
You're listening to J. Cole and Lil Baby. The song is Pride is the Devil. Okay, it's time for
Slices.
All right, what do you have, Jesse?
All right. Well, what if I told you guys that the first human to live forever could be walking among us right now? And that first human is a well-known figure and just turned 90 years old.
What?
I'm talking about William Shatner. William Shatner has signed on to be, which, by the way, for 90, he looks fantastic. Okay.
Right.
Wait, he's 90? When he's doing those Priceline commercials, he was like 87?
Yeah,
That's
when
crazy.
he did Bleep My Dad Says, which that wasn't that long ago. Remember the little Twitter meme that was a CBS sitcom for a short run? That means he signed on to do that when he was like 84. That is very impressive.
That means our best days are ahead, guys. That's what that means right there.
Exactly.
That's like Betty White status. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Good for him.
It's very impressive. So, he has signed on to be the first person, according to the marketing materials, but the first person to use a new technology called Storyfile. Now, I'm going to read. It's best if I probably just read from some of the press materials, because I don't want to overstate what they're capable of, but it's a little complicated. So, on his birthday, William Shatner and LA tech company Storyfile announced that he is exploring a new frontier of AI, and that he'd be the first of many to use Storyfile Life to create interactive conversational AI-powered videos to preserve his memory and legacy for generations to come, beyond the limitations of time and space. Okay, so here's a little breakdown. Storyfile will launch this month, bringing the world a new type of interactive storytelling that will change how we remember, how we interact, how we share stories, and how we teach generations and learn. The technology includes a patented artificial intelligent interactive memory system, which uses natural language processing and other innovative technologies. It can be used with connected devices like VR, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so the idea is this. If you wanted to employ this technology and you knew that when you pass on to the great timeline in the sky, or whatever the implications of the Illuminator are, then it means that you can have a version of yourself that will live behind virtually. Now, it seems like kind of rudimentary in its execution, though conceptually, you can see the implications. The idea is that this company would go, sit you down for a series of interviews and talk about a variety of topics. They would then use them, and they would kind of use meta tags in the video file that would interact with voice to speech or speech to, kind of text searches in real time. So basically, after you died, someone in your family could fire up this little hologram, turn on a video on their phone, use a VR headset, and say, "Hey, how are you? Oh, I'm good. What do you think about this?" And sourcing the interview files that you did with them, you'd be able to talk and discuss things on a range of topics, so that these files that represent a version of you would be able to interact with people after you're gone. Now, William Shatner is sort of just doing this as, I'm assuming, just sort of some sort of publicity thing, but I thought this was really interesting because it's one small step, and it's very rudimentary because I can't, I don't think the AI is sophisticated enough where it's thinking about how you process thoughts and your kind of philosophical outlook to make you say things that you never actually recorded on these videos. But it's not that far of a leap to think that that is the next evolution of this, where you could fill out questionnaires, do a bunch of interviews, upload, a bunch of yourself talking, and AI would interpret your positions based on what you thought, so that people could quote unquote, bring you back to try to understand what you think about things. This could either be kind of a cool, little bit of creepy sort of memorial thing, or this could go into like Black Mirror territory pretty quickly.
Sounds
here.
like, isn't there a Black Mirror episode just
we
like
already
this?
in Black Mirror territory. Yeah. We there. We ain't.
Didn't the wife do that to her husband in the episode?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
so,
he lived up in the attic.
Yeah. And so, so this is a science fiction innovation that, at least an early version, and look, I haven't tried Storyfile. It's just launching this month, so there's not been like time to like kick tires with it or anything. But I think this is something that on paper seems like a cool idea. Like, oh, imagine if you could go fire up this thing and go talk to your grandmother after she passed away or something. I think in concept, it's not like some sort of terrible idea, but I also think that the actual implications of it are pretty unsettling. Jamie, is this something that kind of rubs you the wrong way?
Well, I'm sitting here thinking, and I'm like, two questions. Like, when someone dies, there's like closure, right? But then this feels like there's never closure. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, right? Yeah. Doesn't it feel like that a little bit? Basically, if during the grief process, you always knew there was the option of firing up a video and conversing with that person, would it prevent you from having closure? I could see that case, but I guess my pushback would be like, what about the great grandkids who never met their grandmother? For sure, right.
And so instead of just showing them like a little video montage that we played at the funeral, hey, we got a little AI thing that you can interact with. Do you think there's validity there, or do you think this is just a slippery slope to really creepy stuff?
It feels creepy to me. Like, that's my first instinct, is it feels creepy. But then also when you say it like that, I'm like, well, what if like my husband died when my kids were real little, and then as they grow up, I get to show them what their dad was like. I mean,
and the kid could say, intriguing. "Hey, Dad, I'm going on my first date today. Give me advice." And the father could say, using this AI, like, that hypothetically, that's an application, but so is weird creepiness.
Weird creepiness.
They're actively working on physical avatars too, robots with the likeness of these people that'll be able to have the AI intelligence. In fact, this hologram thing is new. That's why you're reporting it, I guess. But I was hearing reports about companies working on robotic interfaces that would have AI, so you could sit in a physical room with the person and talk to them and hear their memories and things like that, and that they would download they're trying to crack the nut on how they can download the full memory bank of somebody's brain.
Yeah.
And then they'll have live memories, live reasoning, and the AI would be sophisticated enough with facial expressions and everything that you're like sitting down and talking to grandpa. You're not like having to look at a hologram.
Well, and this might be the first consumer application of that concept. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's probably where they want to go, and the technology probably exists, but not on a consumer level. This is one that's rolling out literally this month, and I think will open the door to a lot of.
I mean, every future movie we've seen, like they don't have receptionists in the lobby. They have hologram information kiosks and stuff, and I think like that could actually be a fine application of this.
But when you're talking about the whole construct of this isn't to have fake people doing real jobs. It's having to do people who existed having their likenesses and even thought patterns sort of appropriated for a future time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's where it's kind of
what
like,
if they appropriate wrong thoughts?
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, you kind of open a
Grandpa was kind of a freak, yo.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Man, Grandpa gave me some like they got their like the people at Storyfile like crossed over two different grandpas, and it's like, man, he thought some weird, you know. Where did Grandpa grow up? How old was he?
Yeah. All right. What do you have, Jamie?
Well, there's constant conversations about, is everything in the Bible true? Like, is the flood true? Is Jonah and the whale true? And let me just tell you that this happened recently. We've got a real life Jonah heading to Nineveh situation. Michael Packard, all right, just had an experience that he'll never forget, is that he is a lobster diver. So that's his job. Off the coast of Cape Cod every morning. This particular day, he had already caught 100 pounds of lobster. Okay, so they go in their diver gear. He jumps in, and the person in the boat sees his little white bubbles from his diver gear going off. And then all of a sudden, he sees something that he thought was a great white shark. And then no more bubbles. Like, he's gone. And so he thinks, holy crap, my friend just got eaten by a great white shark. Oh my gosh. But then it is not a great white shark, you guys. It is a humpback whale. And he swallowed him into his mouth. Michael was in the mouth of a shark, just like Jonah.
Humpback whale.
A humpback whale. Oh yeah, that's a big difference. A humpback whale.
Was it a brief or did
I heard this story? It was about 40 seconds that he was fully in the mouth, right?
He said about 8 a.m., he plunged 45 feet deep, almost reached the ocean floor when he felt this truck hit me and everything just went dark, he said. And then he says this, and I could feel hard stuff all around me. And I thought, did I just get eaten by a white shark? And then I said, no, I don't feel any teeth. And he said, oh my God, I'm in the mouth of a whale while his mouth is shut. And so then the whale threw him out and he lived. And he
ironically, he's on his way to modern day Nineveh to do some evangelism
as we speak. So he got some bruises on his legs and he ended up getting spit out of a humpback whale. And his wife is now requesting that he gets a new job. And he's like, no, that's what I do. I dive for lobsters.
We all have that friend that like we have some big news or something crazy happen to us and we tell our group of friends. And then that one friend always tries to one up your story. There is nobody in the world who could one up this man's story.
Nobody ever.
I got eaten by a humpback whale.
Yep.
What do you got?
Yeah.
Even by like someone who like by Bible standard stories, like, hey man, I got a fight with this guy who's a giant and I beat him. Oh, that's cool.
That's cool.
I got swallowed by a literal whale. So
got spit up. Yeah. Fought my way out.
And
he spit me out.
He spit him out. They say humpback whales are not out to eat. They're not going to attack. And so it was clearly an accident. In case you're wondering, if anyone's upset with these whales, it was clearly an accident that he swallowed him.
Mm-hmm. Crazy.
And he lived to tell.
All right, Derek, what do you have? I know what Derek has.
As y'all can tell, I have been utterly distracted from our pod these past few slices because I have found the best game in the App Store, period.
Is it free or do I have to pay for it?
It's free.
Ooh.
But although there are micro payments inside, so that you get free to start it. But if you really, really, really want to really be good at this game, you kind of got to buy the micro joints. So this game is called Church Tycoon. Okay. So the way this thing starts out is it's a church and there's a musician in there. And you can add the pastor,
Mm-hmm.
you can add treasury assistants, and you unlock different rows of pews. And your goal is to fill the pews with people. And each pastor that you put there has special powers. So you got the love pastor. Then I just unlocked the miracle pastor. So like when you unlock his power,
that's gonna fill it. Yeah.
Yeah, like fish and bread fall from the sky, and it increases the amount of money that people give. And the goal is just little people walking around with bags collecting money. Everybody. Little church mothers walking around with these bags, and then they put it in the offering plate up front, and then this lady comes back out of the treasury with this big old sack on her back like Santa Claus and just takes gobs of money.
So the goal is to get the most money possible.
The most money.
The goal is to run the bag up. That's it. That's the goal.
So you get the most money by having the most people. It's not the goal being the most people to reach the lost. It's to get more people in the seats.
They're not even trying to go Illuminator phase, Bible man.
Yeah.
They're not even trying to do none of that. They like, look, let's get to the bag. So this game, this game was definitely made by somebody currently deconstructing right now. There's no question. There's not a question at all. This was made by somebody currently deconstructing as we speak. And they're just like, screw this.
I just Googled it, and it's framed as Church Tycoon, Church Simulator, brought to you by the liturgist. So I don't know. I can't confirm that. I can't confirm, Derek.
You can neither confirm or deny.
Whoever did it, I honestly feel like probably has a pretty sharp sense of satire. I would assume that's their motivation, is to kind of gamify an interesting point about about the absurdity of kind of some large megachurch institutions. I would assume that's the motivation for the developers, but who knows?
Can you buy like your pastor like better clothes, better cars, better shoes, stuff like that?
Nah,
like
you just update you just upgrade the pastor. So you just get a different guy.
Do you know who the ultimate pastor is? Like, do you know what you're going for, or is it just like different ones unlock and you got to try them out to see which ones get the most money?
I do wish the microtransaction would buy you like a new pair of like Nike Air Fear of Gods.
Well, hold on. Let's look at the transactions you can make.
But hey, Joel Osteen, Robert Morris are better at raising money than the sneaker
I did
pastors.
get the Yeezy. I got the Yeezy upgrade in the church merch.
So if you
$500 church sweatpants with Yeezys.
So if you buy incense, it actually adds extra powers to the church. So
incense, what kind of church?
Then you could get like the eternal grace offering. And that removes the ads. So then you have the Genesis offer. If you get the Genesis offer for $29.99, you get one apocalyptic chest plus one heavenly chest plus 8 other chests. Then you get forever 2 times incense and a bunch of pearls. And when you close the app and you come back later, it says you were making money while you slept, and then you get more money while you were asleep. So this is a pretty it's a very awful game. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It's an awful game, but it's awfully funny though. Like
I'm just gonna assume that it is some degree of sharp satire, here. I have, because otherwise it's just people that have run out of ideas for making games. It's one of the two.
Yeah, it's like I play games during church. I don't want to play a game of church.
About church. Oh,
you know what I'm saying? I'm playing Candy Crush during church.
It's like Inception, bro.
Yeah, what about playing Church Tycoon in church? And I'm like, I'd be a better pastor than this guy. I could make way more offering than this guy. Anyway, all right. That'll do it for Slices. Stay tuned. Up next, it's our Quarterlife Conversation. And then, what's Jesse thinking? You're You're listening to Peggy Goo and Ooh Yuck. The song is Nabi. Well, if you've been following along the last few months, we've been doing a content series called Quarterlife, specifically focused on the issues and topics that you tackle in your 20s. We've talked about everything from career to faith, relationships, mental health, and so much more, bringing on well-known authors, entrepreneurs, faith leaders, and others. We're doing it to encourage and inspire you to make the most of this time of life. We do a new article every Tuesday and Thursday at relevantmagazine.com and have a quarter-life conversation here on the podcast. I think this might be the last week. Maybe there's one more. It's been a 12-week series, and it was presented by UHSM. As you're rethinking everything in your 20s, might as well rethink your healthcare as well. Go check out what UHSM is doing. It's revolutionary what they're doing with Christian health care sharing. It's very cool. Well, our quarter life conversation today is with Sheila, Gregoire, Rebecca Lindenbach, and Joanna Sawatsky. The trio wrote The Great Sex Rescue, which surveyed 20,000 Christian women about the message they received from the church about sex. The book discusses the results while offering a new narrative the church can use, a biblical view of sex where mutuality, intimacy, and passion are present. The women spoke to us about how the church's current message came to be, the damage that's been done to women because of that message, and how moving forward the church can change its direction in ways that will better honor God, each other, and our bodies. Here is our conversation with Sheila Gregoire, Rebecca Lindenbach, and Joanna Sawatsky.
What does the fix look like here? What does the new narrative need to be for women who are, whether they're married, they're dating, they're just coming, they're in the case of many of our readers, they're teenagers, they're very young, they're just kind of entering the dating scene. What do they need to be aware of, and how can that narrative shift?
I think one of the biggest things we need to do, and I try to do this in chapter 1, and we carry it through the entire book, is we need to change the definition of sex. When you look at scripture, biblical sex is not one-sided intercourse. Biblical sex is always intimate. You know, Adam knew his wife Eve. We laugh about the terminology, but that word for to know is this deep intimacy, and God used that word for a reason. So Adam knew his wife. It's intimate. We know from Song of Solomon that it's pleasurable, and we know from 1 Corinthians 7 that it's mutual. So if we think of sex as something which is mutual, pleasurable, and intimate, then if they're having one-sided intercourse for 10 years, we know she's already being deprived. Mm-hmm. It's not a question of, hey, you know, our sex life is good because we're having intercourse. No, it's like, is it mutual, pleasurable, and intimate? Are both people being considered? And I think that's what's missing, is we're totally ignoring her experience. We think it's an extra.
And I think what's interesting when you mentioned that we have a lot of younger readers on Relevant as well, is that when we talk about sex as just intercourse, I'm sure that, I don't know. I know that when I was growing up in the church, there's a lot of conversations of, well, I'm a technical virgin. I couldn't have made a baby with what we did, right? Like that kind of conversation. I think that we've really failed young people in talking about sex in terms of don't do it. And then once you get married, you can do it as much as you can. I think we need to not be afraid as a church to give teenagers and young adults and dating people and engaged people the full story, you know, and we tend to just kind of think, they just don't do it and then you'll figure it out. And our study has found that is very much not the case.
This is also going to involve, in addition to trying to help women in the church in particular reframe the idea of what sex is. This involves a pretty big reframing for men as well. And if you could speak to the guys specifically, I'm sure it's a pretty similar message, but how would you frame it for our male readers?
We think the big message that boys need to hear that they're not hearing really revolves around the lust message. This idea that all men struggle with lust, it's every man's battle. We think what's happened is that sexual attraction has been conflated with lust. Mm-hmm. And so boys are growing up thinking, if I find a girl attractive, I have already lusted. And so I am just a dirty, rotten sinner. And, you know, Jesus is a person who looks with lust. So it's a deliberate action plus a deliberate mindset. I really believe that we are raising a lot of boys to have a lot of shame they were never meant to carry. And the constant lust message, I think, drives boys towards desperation, and often drives boys towards porn too, because they're told all guys lust, you can't resist it. So we need a much better conversation around lust, that sexual attraction is normal, sexual feelings are normal, but with those feelings comes the responsibility to treat others with dignity and humanity.
Yeah. And I think that a lot of the way we've talked to boys and the way we've talked to girls, like you said, like the one black dot on the giant white piece of paper. For me in my youth group, it was a bucket of gummy bears. And every time you do anything, you've eaten some of the gummy bears and you only have this empty bucket to hand your husband. The goal is to almost scare or control people into doing the right behavior, but we haven't been focusing on the heart. Right? We've been focusing on make sure you don't lust. So make sure you don't even look at any woman you find attractive. Bounce your eyes. Make sure you don't ever let your eyes rest on someone who might cause you temptation. But where's the heart of Jesus is not in you aren't able to look at women without disrespecting them. That's not healthy, right? So I think similarly, like we've told people, just don't have sex until you're married, then have all the sex that you want. We've told boys, just don't lust. And then once you get married, you can, in essence, lust after this one woman for the rest of your life. We need to get back to what's the heart of it all. And you know what? It's probably going to be a little bit messier. And it's going to be harder to control our kids. It's going to be harder to control, the congregation in general, if we're talking with nuance. But if our goal is control, then we've already lost. But if our goal is health and holistic understanding, we might have some people realizing like, okay, yeah, we went too far. We went too far. But I hope that if we become a culture who talks about this in a more nuanced way, the we went too far doesn't then get followed by, and so I've lost some of my worth.
That was Sheila Gregoire, Rebecca Lindenbach, and Joanna Sawatsky. You can read more of that conversation in the Quarterlife section at relevantmagazine.com, and make sure to check out the feature we did in the new issue of Relevant, the summer issue, on this very topic. And you might just see some quotes from those ladies. Their book, The Great Sex Rescue, is available now. Go check it out. And stay tuned. Up next, it's What's Jesse Thinking?
This week on Relevant Recommends, we're talking about Loki, Tom Hiddleston's return to the MCU, co-starring the great Owen Wilson. We'll also be covering other TV shows that should be on your radar this June. Check it all out at relevantmagazine.com.
You're listening to Judah. The song is Hallelujah's song, Psalm 103. A little remix action. Okay, it's time for...
What's Jesse thinking? Oh?
Jesse, we've covered a lot of weird stuff on the show.
Yeah,
what could you possibly be thinking?
I'm going to bring us back down to earth here and talk about the thing that America really wants to know. Okay. World leaders are convening right now. The largest Protestant denomination in the country has just had a very important meeting. Bible games are launching across platforms. I know what our listeners want. That's why I'm thinking about Shark Week. Shark Week is coming in July 11th. It kicks off. And when I was a kid, Shark Week was actually a big deal. Like, I loved it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. The glory days of Shark Week, they followed a very simple formula. And that was put a bunch of scientists that look like Steve Zissou on a boat with clipboards and drag like fake seals behind speedboats and see how high you get sharks to jump while the guys take notes on the boat. That was every special. Okay. Then cages entered the equation and people start swimming in the ocean,
chum
in
the
the
water.
cages.
Yeah.
But it was all based in like scientists doing something. That sometimes that was over my head, but I could at least appreciate
they're gathering some kind of data.
Yeah,
and then
at one point
free dive sometimes, cage free to get there, and
they're punching them, and they're punching.
They're
fist
sharks. Too much.
You have scientists fist fighting sharks for science, and that was like, okay, I'm down for this. All right, I'm not a scientist, but I appreciate scientists. I like shark. I think sharks are cool. So a few years, I mean, it's probably been almost 10 years now when Shark Week became self-aware at that point, where, they at first, Discovery Channel started airing fake documentaries about like sharks that didn't exist. Then they did a fake mermaid documentary without disclosing it was fake and putting it in the middle of Shark Week. Shark Week, they had like Shark Week After Dark, where they would bring like comedians who are a little sauced in to talk about shark stuff, even though they didn't have. It was like Tara Reid, who I'm not throwing shade at, but she admitted she didn't know anything about sharks, and she was just speculating wildly about the habits of sharks. I know that's not why I'm watching Shark Week. So I've been, Discovery's kind of turned a corner. They've launched Discovery Plus. They're partnering with Chip and Joe. They're really kind of rethinking their brand and moving away from that lowbrow stuff. They just merged
with Warner, HBO, and everything is coming over to be part of the
prestige.
Absolutely,
right?
Yeah.
So I was thinking, Shark Week's going to be back, and it's going to be cool. We got better cameras now. We can make sharks jump even higher. This is what I want. Okay.
We got whales eating humans. I mean, this is a whole new era.
This should be the golden age of Shark Week.
Right.
Now, I read some press materials that made me a little concerned. Not only, listen, I'm fine that celebrities, including, ironically, William Shatner, Tiffany Haddish, Brad Paisley, and the cast of Jackass will make appearances during the week. That was a red flag. But so was them claiming that this would be the most jawsome lineup ever. That was a major red flag.
Oh, no.
But then I read that this year they were going to debut Discovery's first ever shark competitive docu-series called Shark Academy. This is not a document series. This is a reality show. They have placed basically a Jersey Shore real world style reality show on a shark hunting boat. Okay. They have taken terrible reality TV and put it on a shark boat. I want to play. If you think I'm exaggerating, okay, I want to play a clip of what we're in for. Clark, just play like that. This is going to be under a minute here. But I want you guys to hear what they've done to Shark Week.
No vacation.
Play it, Clark.
My recruits will be living at sea, sharing cramped quarters, and put to work on board.
There's oil everywhere.
It's a pressure cooker environment. They'll fight.
I wasn't targeting you like Ryan.
You were telling me like I don't know what this means.
Oh,
Shut your mouth.
They'll flirt.
He will do anything that I say.
Just wait.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
But they'll need to stay focused.
Watch out! Oh, you're gonna get bit if you don't stop.
Okay, cut. There's a hot tub on the shark boat. Okay, there's two.
This is like Jersey Shore and Survivor on a boat.
Thank you.
Hey, Jesse.
There was a hot tub on the shark boat, guys.
I was with you during the Sharknado era. They lost me. I don't need your CG. I don't need your drama. Just show me the sharks. But you know that I am a connoisseur of trash reality TV. And over the last 2 nights, I have actually been binging Below Deck Sailing Yacht. Okay. So this is essentially the shows that I'm already watching, but you're adding sharks to the equation. That sounds awesome to me. I'm not with you. I'm watching it. I love it.
I didn't know you were a reality TV connoisseur, Cameron.
Okay. Here's the thing. If I want to watch Bravo,
I want to go home.
I don't have enough drama in my life, Jamie, so I like to absorb it in the evenings.
If I want to watch Bravo, I watch Bravo. I don't need marine biologist Bravo. Okay, just give me Shark Week. Give me Bravo. Like as soon as one marine biologist throws a mimosa in the face of another marine biologist in a hot tub, okay, you've gone too far, Discovery.
And then someone's going to say, "I'm jumping off this boat," and so they're going to jump into the water with the sharks, and someone's going to have to come in and get them, and then they're going to cry.
I'm in. Give me more drama.
It's too far.
I love it.
It's too far.
No Sharknadoes. Give me this. I'm in. Shark Academy. All right.
Just spin it off, Bravo. Just have a Bravo Shark Week and have a Discovery Channel. Okay. Just do that for people who want to watch this. You put it on like a network. You know, like have a hoarder Shark Week. Have someone who hoards shark teeth and put it on A&E. I don't care.
Derek, what are you thinking? Derek, where are you?
I'm in the Matrix. Like. Yeah, I'm in the Matrix. Like I'm in an alternative reality that is programmed by computers to keep us from not seeing the real truth.
The hologram.
Like, I'm in the Matrix. This is the hologram. I'm in the Matrix. That's what it is. Don't unplug me, I guess. Just I'll roll with it, you know.
Jesse, I do think that one of the, I'm going to call it right now, one of the previews for the next episode is going to lead us to believe that somebody was bitten by a shark.
Oh,
yes.
1,000%.
Next time. Yeah. And they're going to do the same thing.
And they're going to show a little bit of
show.
blood.
Yeah. Exactly. Here's how it's going to be after the first episode. They'll be like next week on whatever, what are they? Shark Academy.
Next week. It's Shark Week. It's like, this is going to be an everyday thing.
Tomorrow night on Shark Academy. And they're going to do the reality TV thing where it's a handheld camera of like a cameraman running somewhere and you're like bouncing around. There's a brief shot of blood. Then it cuts to black and all you hear is beep, beep. Is she okay? Then you hear a producer go, we need to call somebody. And then you know what I mean? Like, we've already seen this, guys. We know how this will play. That is how all of these, they operate under the same formula. And they should not be a part of it.
Best.
You're taking below deck up a level. I love it. I'm in. Count me
Why do they
in.
have a hot tub on the surface of the shark boat? What point does that serve? They
need to relax after a long day of gathering data on sharks.
Yeah, you're down there with
Pour
sore
yourself a
muscles.
drink,
What are you gonna do?
get in the
There's
hot
no
tub?
masseuse. Yeah, you gotta be able to chill out. People can't work 24 hours a day, Jesse.
There's a bartender on the shark. I don't actually know.
I wish
There's a bartender and a DJ on the shark boat. There's no need for that.
Oh man, it's an R&R, man. People need balance in their lives. They got a shark work all day, and then they got to relax all night. Come on, let them have.
I'm about to go back to playing Church Tycoon, y'all.
I know, right?
I don't know what's worse. Church Tycoon or what they're doing to Shark Week,
or the Illuminator. I mean, we've had some 3 low points, cultural low points on this episode.
A lot of
Illuminator.
questions.
A lot of questions. More questions than answers today, guys.
We have unveiled 3 different horsemen of the apocalypse that are hiding in plain sight.
Hiding in
I
plain
agree.
sight.
I agree.
Oh man. All right. Well, that'll do it for.
What's Jesse thinking?
Well, before we wrap it up, I want to mention a few things and little housekeeping notes. Many thanks to Ryan O'Neal, Sleeping at Last, for joining us today. You can stream his albums anywhere you get your music. You won't regret it. Incredible stuff. Thanks also to Sheila, Gregoire, Rebecca Lindenbach, and Joanna Sawatsky for joining us. You can check out their book, The Great Sex Rescue, which is available now. And like I mentioned, read more of that conversation over the Quarterlife section at relevantmagazine.com, presented by UHSM. And while you're over there, you can grab our new free ebook, The Quarterlife Handbook. It's a free download. It features amazing insight, practical advice from leaders like Christine Kane, Shauna Niequist, Scott Harrison, many more. The resource and the whole Quarterlife series are available for free, thanks to UHSM. And while you're at the site, make sure to check out the big new summer issue of Relevant. It's out now. Features some great conversations with the likes of Yvonne Orji, Dante Bowe, Christine Kane, Japanese Breakfast, so many more. Some think pieces. It's the biggest collection of features we've ever done. The summer issue of Relevant. It's out now and available for free and ad-free thanks to UHSM. You can check it out at relevantmagazine.com/magazine. Okay. On that note, we'll wrap it. I'm Cameron Strang.
Jesse Carey.
I'm Jamie Ivey.
And I'm confused.
You said that last week. You can't be confused every week.
Yes, I'm confused again. I'm confused again. Like this. I'm for real. I did not expect that this show was gonna have a failed comic from Marvel with Tommy Nelson, a game where you could build a church empire, and a shark reality show. I did not expect that.
Hey,
this is the world we live in.
I had high hopes for 2021.
This is the world we live in.
Oh yeah! Also, in a Black Mirror episode, that's coming to life. Let's not forget about that.
William Shatner's now immortal. Yeah,
they might bring the guy that just got swallowed by the whale. He might fly in to do a course with them on what to do if you fall overboard and a whale swallows you.
I like it.
And then in a twist, he has a little too much to drink after in the hot tub, and sparks fly with him and Pauly D, who for some reason is now captaining the shark vessel.
So yes, I'm confused, but my name is Derek, though, if you want to know.
Thanks for listening to the Relevant Podcast.
Check out our features, interviews, and news updates every day at relevantmagazine.com. And make sure to follow Relevant on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for the latest. For more great podcasts, browse the shows on the Relevant Podcast Network, which you can find at our site. And while you're there, don't miss the all-new era of Relevant Magazine. A new issue releases every other month at relevantmagazine.com.
Let me guess, some seltzer and lime, gentlemen?
Relevant Podcast Network.